regular Punjabi accent all the way through. And they asked him, how do you get the vision? He said, vision kya hota hai? Once you get successful, sab kehte visionary ho gaye. Tab to kuch pata nahi tha. So why don't you talk to us about this with reference points and finding your way?
Okay, good point. I think, great point actually. See, it's right that I never had a vision, you know the story now. But then the fact that I met some people who have seen how vision helps when you start, I started believing that look, without a vision, I think it's probably not possible to reach where they have. And let me tell you why. Now when I reflect, I had to just believe blindly in what Ankur was telling, saying look, you need to first create a vision for what you're going to do, and then come with the idea and technology and process. Okay? First tell me what you want to do. And now we can say that we want to be the most respected, largest cloud consulting firm in the world, and you'll believe because we have done some part of it and we are on course. But 1.5 years back, there was nothing. People didn't believe in cloud. Maybe when we talk to cloud, they say, oh, server utha ke yahan se wahan rakh denge. That's cloud. That was the case, and I used to be on phone and talking to people and saying, I'm a cloud consultant. Okay, can you put my server? That's not what we do. And I think the biggest part of vision is that it creates the architecture. It creates the architecture of how big you can be. I'll give you, again, an analogy. You want to create the tallest building in Pune? Fine. You want to create the tallest structure in the world like Abu Dhabi? Great, there are two different projects. Now, if you have a vision of creating the tallest building in Pune, you will create certain sort of raw material, certain sort of talent, certain sort of architecture. It will not scale to the tallest building in the world if you have a certain type of architecture and raw material. And you need to have those people right at the start saying, my vision is to create the tallest structure in the world. Therefore, my architect would be this German guy who will build this. My raw material would be this Australian stone crushed raw material which will be imported and built. My architect is going to be this. You can't create tallest structure by creating tallest in Pune and say, abhi dekhenge uske upar aur 4 laga denge. And it takes the same amount of time. And I think I have to go back to my first day when I was thinking about my e-commerce platform, and I met my uncle. I don't know if he's here, Mahendra Gudke. He was the first person. He's a successful businessman. I said, Mamaji, I want to start a business. He said, look, whatever you do, think about something big, because it takes the same amount of time to create a small business and a big business. And I didn't know that. I said, your experience, you've been doing it for 15 years. That's the first powerful words I have come seeing from an entrepreneur himself. And I remember those words. He said, it's going to take the same time to create a small business and a big business. So think of something big, very big. And same word when I heard from Ankur saying, think of something big. You may not believe in it now, but that whole architecture you're creating through the vision, just say you want to create the best company in the world, and then figure out how you'll do it. But I think it will be best in some aspects, in some area. You'll figure out the niche of yourself. But unless you're going there and saying tallest structure in the world, you can't put 10 structures and 10 stories and 10 stories. This would fall. It doesn't work. Your architecture is broad.
Even setting up that framework, how do you really decide small changes in direction? What do you think right now in this first year and a half, as you had to live by your wits a little bit and talk to all sorts of customers, finding your direction a little bit within that broad spectrum? How do you really listen to the customers? How do you change direction, when to change direction?
I think all the right questions are coming from a person who's already seen that. See, when you are doing this, you cannot have eyes and ears of somebody else telling you what's happening in the market. So it has to be your ears, your eyes, your nose, all the 5 senses. And I think if there is a 6th sense, even the 6th sense. You need to be with your customers, whether sales, marketing, events, whatever is happening, you need to be the first person to understand what they're saying. Because that one line said by the 10th prospect on your call will actually change the strategy for you in the next 6 months. You don't know. But if you already have a sales team in place and they are telling you what they're wanting, maybe you're already getting maybe a changed message. So I think what has worked for me, that I'm doing my own sales, I'm doing my own marketing, and there are people who are supporting me day and night. But I think I have to be on sales calls every day. I have to be on every message that goes out and say, let's tweak this. I think this is what this CI would want to hear. And you have to do that every week, every day, because you don't know. We have made some assumptions and say we will be the best cloud consulting world on Microsoft, doing this. maybe that's what the market is not ready for, which is what we figured after first 6 months. But if you're not listening to what your customers are saying, and your existing customers are telling you that my product is being shaped in this way. So if you're only relying on your project manager to give you the report end of the day saying project is successful, that is not going to help. Understand why this guy is doing this whole technology. Where is it going? Are there 10 more customers who can be like him and say, I can also do this for those 10 guys? It has not worked with me so far. I've not even been able to find out those 10 customers exactly like my first customer. But that helps understand why this guy is doing it. So I think it's a lot of perseverance, a lot of frustrating hours day and night, and understanding why are they not understanding what I'm telling them. Because it's something wrong with my message. It's not that they have a flaw in their needs. So the moment you start looking inwards, you find answers. You can't just keep blaming the market and think it's not ready. It's not happening.
I'm going to take the last few minutes. In any startup conversation, we always hear, people don't want to work for me. How can I recruit better? Why do they come? So what have you done to get to the first 9 and then the next 35, 40? Which recruiter did you use that you could do all of this?
I think, as anybody would tell you, recruitment is also like sales. But then when I say sales, it doesn't mean you give false promises like a lot of salespeople do. It's about telling them exactly how you can help them grow, whether it's your customer, your partners. And I think it's not about just a team of 40 odd people in our office that we have created. We have created a team of 10 partners across the world. We have created a team of 15 customers across the world. They are my team now. Their families depend on the product they are building. The families of 40 people in my office depend on what we are doing. The families of 10 partners that we are working with depend on me to give them the strategy. They were the best technology experts available in this technology. But now they got the vision to do what we are doing. Now there are almost 70 odd families depending on what we are doing. It's not just about selling a concept or about mis-selling some facts. It's about telling them exactly where you're going. Now, if you're telling them this is where I want to go and people don't join you, maybe that's the right thing. Let them not join because they don't believe in your vision. But whoever 4 or 5 people join you, I think those are the best people to be with you. Because they will stay with you and take you in the right direction. I think initial 10, 20, 30, there's no minimum number. Everybody in your team till at least first 3 years, I think they're going to be the core members, and that's the philosophy we have. The first 100 people in our team, they're going to be the core people, and all the stock options and all we've kept open for the first 100. Because I think it's not about first 5 or first 10. I mean, even 100 is a critical mass. So the way we recruited, I think it's again day and night. We used to just talk to people, call them, meet them, but then there was no compromise in the process of evaluation. We still have the 5-stage evaluation process, and the last 2 stages are all about fitment. So you might be the best technology person in the world, you don't get to be in this team if you don't have the fit. And I think when you talked about vision, Gaurav, a very relevant part is the values. I think vision is nothing but hallucination. So if I hallucinate about something, no. If you find synonym, the first word you'll see of vision is hallucination. Now it's alright to hallucinate, but then am I saying what is my vision, or am I saying what is my largest possibility of creating business? There's 2 different things. One is a conscious mind saying what is possible. One is a subconscious mind saying what is impossible but I still want to do it. It is hallucination. But then somebody has to believe in your vision and say, oh, you dream. It's a dream. How many people, you tell your dream and say, oh yeah, I believe in your dream. It's not how it is. And same thing with values. Now, I might have certain value sets different from Gaurav or same. But if I say that I cannot compromise on trust, on teamwork, on customer success, and that's it, 3 things. So when I interview, I know that these guys are brilliant. But then in my values, I don't have technical expertise. And this guy doesn't seem to be customer oriented. He doesn't look like a team guy. And I still don't know very much about his trustworthiness because he's jumping companies every second year. He's not a fit. And that guiding principle helps us create a team that at least keeps that energy.
So those are things that a lot of us come to after many years of trying to build companies. So thank you for putting that in words. As we wind down, nobody does stuff alone. So this is your chance to recognize the folks that started with you. You call them out and let us know who they are and what they do.
Sure.